Wonderful morning to you out there. It's really great to have you join us on the Break It On Papers Review this wonderful Saturday morning. And of course, my name is GBOLABO Famous School. We'll be looking at some of the national dailies here, talking about some of the major headlines out of the national dailies. I have the Punch newspaper, Nigerian Tribune newspaper, The Guardian, and a host of other papers here for review this morning. All right, to start off with the Punch newspaper, missed fortune as power supply improves. Risky pleasure, Nigeria's underground sex lubricant market run from living rooms. Beyond limitations, meet content creators turning struggles into wealth. Varsity profs demands 2.5 million naira salary. World Cup qualifiers, Nwambali stays Boniface out of final Chile squad. Abusive marriage, Lagos records 8,692 domestic violence cases. Daily hug reduces depression. That's according to an author. Right, we have the son suspect nabbed as police recover stolen vehicle. Siblings 10 others jailed for fraud in Edo. Police probe Kwara robbery. Fraud, EFCC arrest 1,427 as Edo top suspect list. NDLEA arrest 1,315 suspected drug peddlers amid crackdown. All of these are some of the headlines out of the Metro Plus page of the Punch newspaper. And a bit of business, Naiti backs Ujulari to deliver reforms. And this says African Airlines cargo demand jumps 9.4%. That's according to Ayata. And before we leave the Punch newspaper, a bit more of politics. Controversy trails move to Grand Citizenship Investment Bill. Residents stock up, travel for Rivers Saturday local government election. Lagos APC rules out Jonathan's 2027 challenge, says Tinubu unbeatable. No ticket seated for 2026 local government election. That's according to Edo APC chairman. All of these headlines are some of the major ones out of the Punch newspaper this morning. We also take a look at the cable, and more of the headline says, "A left PDP for APC without prayers. I have now fasted 31 days to know my next party," says Elisha Abo. And NIPO says shipment to US will cost $80, cites Trump's executive order. And more here says GTCO injects 365 billion naira into a commercial-based bank to meet CBN's capital requirement. And from the international scene, Trump cancels Kamala Harris' Secret Service protection. Obi fault hike in passport fees, says it's extra burden on populace. Enugu revamps moribund Niger gas after 30-year hiatus. And more here says Nigeria's excess crude account now $535,823,000, says the Attorney General of the Federation. Kwankuse denies planning to defect the firm's commitment to NNPP. 3 more internet fraudsters arrested at a Bassender Library complex, convicted by court. And before we lift the cable, we'll take some couple more. NUJFCT slams NRC MD for harassing journalists during train derailment coverage. And we have this one, viral post and passage of Cybercrimes Act 2025 is false. All of that are some of the headlines there out of the cable this morning. We also take a look at the Guardian newspaper and get some couple of headlines out of the Nigerian Guardian. And this says Budget Office to release full year 2024 report by September end. This Education Minister makes U-turn, admits 2009 federal government ASU agreement. Robert holds North Star Conference 2.0 tax marketing stakeholders to embrace new ideas solution. With Onyoma Mercy Chinwo teases fans on what to expect in fourth studio album. A bit of lifestyle and entertainment there. And of course here says PEN commits to transform Lagos with New Dawn agenda. Fintiri signs law establishing official seal of Adamawa. Attacks on Oluwo Are. Islamophic Murik. That's what the Murik is saying. And we have on 80th anniversary. China honors Nigerians who fought in Burma. Nigerian plead guilty in U.S. courts to fraud knows fate December the 4th. Adeleke backs Good Governance Award inducted into NBR Hall of Fame. Army intercept 242 bags of fertilizer banned for terrorists, IEDs production. And we'll take a bit more here from The Guardian. Unified payment restates commitment to innovation in fintech sector. Some of the headlines there out of The Guardian this morning. Also on Daily Post News Engine, Amnesty International's report on Nigeria fake, mischievous. That's what NDMG is saying. Anambra PDP elders won NWC against dissolving state party ESCO. South Africa demolishes Nigerian developers' high-rise complexes. And Lagos records 8,692 domestic sexual violence cases in 1 year. 2027, I'm not plotting for VP slot. Bauchi Governor Bala Mohammed. NLC demands 150,000 naira minimum wage for Lagos workers. And more here on the Daily Post. In case you're just joining us, this is the Break It On Papers review from your Laughter Dial 32 FM 94.9. And we're taking headlines. And here still on the Daily Post News Engine, Delta government disappointed by poor attendance of lawmakers, government functionaries at Igbo unification event. Security agencies try to prevent influx of criminals as OT holds security meeting. 2.5 billion naira donation to UBTH. Edo not Father Christmas. CRPP tells Governor Okwebolo. NATN and PCL set up technical committee on data exchange training compliance to EITI standard. And of course, Army intercept 242 bags of fertilizer banned for terrorist bomb production in Borno. Governor Bago facilitates Professor Nuhu Jikantoro over appointment at NDDC. A bit of politics, 300 billion naira loan saga. Engage police DSS to ensure Shitu's safety. APC chieftain to party leaders. And 2027, nothing is wrong with solidarity work for Tinubu. Omo Agege, Delta APC leader to IPAC. All of those are some of the headlines out of the Daily Post this morning. We also take a look at the Nigerian Tribune and pick out some headlines still out of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. On the Tribune, we'll have a couple of headlines. Tinubu not pressuring me to do wrong thing. NNP says Ojulari. Cost of Nigerian passport now higher than minimum wage. That's according to Peter Obi. We are under attack. NNPC boss cries out. And talking about excess crude account shrinks to 535,823 as NEC orders accelerated reforms. And the Imperial Majesties and pernicious romance of bygone age. And that appears to be a feature here on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper front page. And of course, that's the much we can take with the paper this morning. And we also take a look at the Daily Trust and pick out some headlines out of the Daily Trust this morning. And of course, here on the Daily Trust, we also have a couple of headlines making the rounds. All right, in 2 years, Lagos gets 3.9 trillion naira projects. That appears to be the big story here. Inside banditry in Northwest, Alaba Rago Market demolition, our story by traders. And I think that is Alaba Rago Market demolition, our story by traders. And this also says we must avoid Rwanda type of conflict. Alhaji Lawal Sani speaking here. And we must, passengers fear dead in fresh Secretary boat accident. Passport fee hike. This government keeps placing burden on Nigerians. That's according to Obi. Universities head for strike. All right, still here on the Daily Trust newspaper. Come to Ubasani. We are with you in prayers. All of this are some of the headlines still here on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We'll take a bit more. Let's look at business day. I hope Austin is also standing by to do the analysis proper for us this morning. Before we go to business day, a bit of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Some of the headlines out of the Vanguard. All right, it's still the Breaking On Papers review from your laughter dial 32 FM 94.9. Still taking headlines out of the national dailies this morning. Some of the major headlines out of the national dailies. And of course, here on the Vanguard, we have open grazing conflict claim 2,800 lives in 5 years. Nigeria still corrupt, clerics tell Tinubu 2027. Wike's shadow still hangs over PDP's fight to unseat Tinubu. And we have Jonathan Consulting not out of 2027 race. That's according to his brother. Many fear dead in fresh Sokoto boat mishap. I was there, Obi never offered you anything. Journalist replies Adinyoju. 2027, Jonathan Canton seats Tinubu. APC is coming up with that. And now the Kano Igbo groups in diaspora petition Trump. Burglars cut away 500 million naira jewelry from Lagos shop. Increase in passport cost, evidence of federal government disconnect from Nigerians. That's what 𝐃𝐈𝐒 is saying. We are comfortable in NNPP, not in alliance talks with any party. That's according to Kwonkwo. So, well, there is no budget implementation report since Q2 of 2024. That's the federal government giving that explanation. Man Director General begs Customs suspend FOB levy, clear port congestion. All right, still here on the Vanguard front page, 2027. Taken earlier, we have this one marking this 2027 puzzle. Will PDP gamble pay off? And that appears to be a question mark here and a bit of feature. All right, we do have Austin Adumo standing by for us to do the analysis proper for us this morning. It's great to have you here, Austin. Good morning.
GBOLABO, good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, Austin. I guess we can start off with this professors coming from the universities asking that the government increase their salary to 2.5 million naira thereabout. And Austin, if you look at the population of professors in Nigeria, it's about, from some of the records I'm seeing here from Statistica, if I'm correct, it's saying that Nigeria professors are just within 11,000 to about 12,000 of them. And now you're having like 2.3 million students in the tertiary institutions put together. So it means that one professor to 500 students compared to a country like the US where you have like a professor to 10 or 12 students. Now, if these professors eventually leave Nigeria, what is going to be the implication, especially for education sector in Nigeria as it stands?
Yeah, it's going to also tell on us, like other professionals who have left as a result of lack of enabling environment. We must be able to situate this in the context that a lot of people believe majorly that because the country is not doing well, even if the country is doing well, we still have people who want to go out of the country for a greener pasture, to pursue a better career endeavor all across the world. Even in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 70s, people travel abroad for greener pasture, people travel abroad for education. But the problem that we have had in this current time is that a lot of people are now being forced to leave the country in search for a greener pasture, because I have seen people who never ever dreamed of leaving the country, who by a situation within the country has made them to abandon their country home. Because there are a lot of people in Nigeria, they have had this mentality that, like the popular street balance, it go better, it go better. A lot of people decide to stay back, but at some point, things started degenerating. They had to look for a way to leave the country. Let's now discuss the crux of the matter. The salaries of professors earning between 500 to 600 plus per month, to me, is unacceptable. The salary should go up. Would the government be able to pay 2.5 million per month? I doubt if that is realistic, but the amount currently being paid is ridiculously too low. The government can have a consensus. According to the professors, they said the government has worked on it before, and there was this proposal before the government to work in the region of that. Because if you look at 2.5 million in a month, for example, it's just in the region of maybe $2 million. So it's not a whole lot of money. And if we want academic research and proper input, we have to really look at that. And mind you, if the government want to pay professor maybe 2.5 million in a month, they also have to be able to justify some of this earning, because this other professor that we compare our professors with, they go into research and development, they provide solution to societal problem. Of course, enabling environment is also created. But my perception is that the amount so far is ridiculously too low. By that implication, it means that maybe a councillor or a local government chairman can even earn more than a professor. So what is now the essence of going to the school for those number of years and sacrifices? They deserve a lot better than what is currently is. Whether 2.5, I doubt if that is feasible, but I think the government can do something reasonable. For me, paying a professor 1.5 million per month, I don't think it is a bad idea. I don't know their own report, the suggestion they've made to government earlier. I think if there was a situation like that in the past, let government visit it and see how they can. Because if they earn more money, they will be able to do more. If they earn more money, they will be able to concentrate. If they earn more money, they will be able to be more patriotic and be more loyal to the cause of teaching and learning, even within our tertiary institutions.
All right, Austin. We also have this one. Army intercept 242 bags of fertilizer bound for terrorist bomb production in Borno. Austin, what are we dealing with? This is quite chaotic to read these headlines out, given the fact that many farmers are even saying they don't have the means of getting some of these fertilizers. Some of them can't even go to their farms because of activities of terrorists. Now, this disruption by some of these terrorist capabilities that we already seen, how can the government tame it? Because it has become like a spiraling effect itself.
Yeah, it's a very big problem. The government can tame it by adequate intelligence. We must be able to get to a level where we gather actionable intelligence. Of course, this is a very good one, that the military have been able to intercept that, because the NPK fertilizer is part of the raw material that is used for explosive devices, the one you call the IED. So it's a major tool. At some points, reports suggest that it was because of the usage of this particular material by the terrorists. That is why we have skyrocketing prices of fertilizer at some point. So, of course, there are saboteurs within the system. There are people who are aiding and abetting this guy. The government, through the military, must be able to break this cartel. We must develop strategy to be able to move a step higher, a step ahead of these guys, so that they won't be able to commit their illicit act. We also want diligent prosecution. Some of these guys need to be prosecuted. Why is the world not ending? People are taking fuel to them. People are acting as their logistics informant and what have you. People are supplying them some of these things that they need. They need drugs in the bush where they are hiding. They need food. Some people are taking some of these things to them. Some people are taking the material that they need to them to wage war against the country. Because if they are not comfortable, if they run out of supply, for example, they may not be able to continue their operation. So the government, through concerted effort, collaboration by various security operatives, can also gather intelligence, work hand in hand, also engage the civil populace, the regular people on the street. You can also engage them, community leaders, religious leaders, to be able, because these people, they are not ghosts. Most of the time, they live amongst our people. That's just the truth of the matter. They didn't fall from the sky. So there are people that can be traced because they live in a place, they stay in a place, they coordinate their attack from a place. There is evidence that they are meeting, and there's also evidence that some people are serving as informant for them who are legitimately among the people. So all of this, the military must up their game. So we want to say kudos to them. We are praising them for this, and the reason why we are praising them is for them to be able to do more.
All right, Austin, terror financing is a major problem globally. Internationally, that has been like a headache for many countries across the world itself. How then do we limit the excesses, especially when we talk about looking at the cyber? Some people would say they have gone beyond just the conventional transfer and the rest. They've gone cyber. How then can Nigeria tap into the digital technology and address these particular hiccups?
Yeah, it's really possible. It's something that we can achieve. It may not be overnight, and I don't suggest that can happen. But like I said, we can also deploy technology. In those days, they just kidnap people, they just kill people, they abduct people, they demand for ransom. But today, they even make use of the social media. They post their victim online, they post their activity online. So, which means they use electronic devices such as mobile phone, etc. So, if they use that, the government should be able to track them. There was a time we did NIM SIM BVN leakage in Nigeria. So what is that for? If we cannot track common criminal, a car was stolen in Ibadan and the car was recovered in Akure by way of tracking. So if we could track a car that is stolen, we should be able to track individual that are speaking. There are some people, they will commit crime, and at the end of the day, you go to the police, they will be able to track for you. So if we can do that preliminary, maybe at some level, we should be able to upscale that, irrespective of what that can take, to nip in the bud and to track this criminal wherever they are. If they can make calls, which means they are traceable. They are not ghosts, like I said earlier. So government must up their game, gather enough intelligence, let there be collaboration, also use people as informer within the community to be able to get across to these guys.
Austin, this says left PDP for APC without prayers. I have now fasted 31 days to know my next party, says Elisha Abo. And quickly, Nigerians will not forget the kind of role Abo played while he was a senator in Nigeria until the appeal court did otherwise. Now, would we say he's trying to appeal to the emotions of many Nigerians and change public perception about who he is, who he was before?
Yeah, it's a matter of time. Maybe just being political. He said this is so strange that politicians who come out to say that they are prayed. Even those that are pastors, some of them don't even pray before they take some sensitive spiritual decision, let alone politician, as if we do not know Elisha Abo. All of this is towards 2027 election. He said he didn't pray before joining APC, but he didn't tell us whether he prayed before leaving PDP the first time. He joined the APC, he has left the APC now. Of course, 31-day fasting and prayer. Let's see where he's going to. He has been meeting with the ADC. Let's see whether God will tell him to join ADC or God will tell him to go and form his own party. But for me, I just see it as a political statement. I do not think anybody should vilify him. He's entitled to his opinion. He said he prayed. I was not there. He said he fasted for 31 days. GBOLABO, you were not there. So I can't come this morning and say it's a lie. But it's just strange and laughable that Nigerian politicians will come out to say that they are fasting to decide their next line of action politically. By my assessment, and because we have been on ground for some time, politicians go to a political party where their interest is best served. Simple and straight.
All right, passport hike is another major issue here, and Peter Obi appears to be one of those condemning this particular move by the government itself. But then there've been some kind of analysis and commentary here, Austin, where individuals are saying things are really very expensive in Nigeria, and of course, cost of getting these papers, printing them out is also very expensive. But Obi is saying that you cannot do that at a time when the economy is so stifled, and this is even, according to him, is even above the minimum wage. Or no, how then do we address these instances of discrepancies when it comes to the issue of public fund and people having to spend beyond what appears to be their disposable income here?
Yeah, it's unfortunately so. For me, I think it's a no, no, no. So I align myself with Obi and other team in Nigeria. This was increased last year. I think it's barely a year now. I can't recall, maybe around July or June last year. It was increased at the 32 pages from I think 30 something to 50 something to 50,000. I think from 35 to 50,000. Then that of 64 pages, I think from 75 to 100,000. I can't really recall, but I think it's in that region. It was increased that last year. Even with the 50,000 that it was before you can get your 32-page passport, you might be spending close to 70 or 100,000. And for the 64 pages, that is 100,000. Before you can get that, you might be spending
But Austin,
close to
let's cast our
150,000.
mind back to 2014 because we're trying to look at the statistics here. 32 pages at 2014 was 15,000 naira, and 64 page was 20,000 naira. In 2019, we had 32 page for 25,000 naira and 64 page, both 5-year, 35,000 naira, and 10 years 64 page was 70,000 naira. And of course, looking at 2023, we have it as between 35,000 naira to 45,000 naira. That is 5-year for 32 page. And now 2024, looking at the statistics, here it's not really clear. But then from this kind of statistics, and now we're having between 100,000 naira to 200,000 naira. And I will talk about the barest minimum wage in Nigeria. Is it commensurate to the life of the people, especially the economic value of each life of Nigerians? What exactly do you think the government wants to do here? Is it about taxation? Is it about stopping Nigerians from jetting out of the country? What exactly can we say it's wrong here?
Well, it is both ends. All of this that we have said, they were things I have said, and I will still want to say. It is not commensurate. You can't justify that. Some people are trying to justify it. Of course, the cost of printing, the cost of sourcing for this material, the economy has moved from where it was in 2014 to another level. Even as we speak now, there is global inflation across the world. Having said that, I think it's outrageous because except you are deliberately trying to discourage people from having the document as a means of traveling out of the country. And we must also get it very clear. The Nigerian Immigration Service is not and should not be a revenue generating agency for the government. The amount is too outrageous. I do not subscribe to that. Some people are justifying, even if you are going to increase, it should be like a minimum increase, 100,000 to 200,000. How many people can afford that? Of course, if you want to compare it to the rate elsewhere, in dollar terms, it could be more than that. But then this is Nigeria. We earn in naira, and everything must be projected in naira. So for me, it is way outrageous, and I feel that the government should review it because there is a lot of innovations going on in the Interior Ministry, and I'm not one of those who believe that what they are trying to do in the power sector should also come to the Immigration Service. That for light to be stable, it must definitely be killing in terms of price, and for education to be quality, it has to be unaffordable for the masses. I don't believe in that. The government can still review this. It's almost like maybe just a proposal yet. The government can review this because the truth of the matter is that we are not even talking about these figures. The one that is 100,000, before you get it done, you are going to be spending like 150. The one that is 200,000, before you get it done, you are going to be spending like 250. That's the challenge. Even when it was 15,000, when it was 10,000, you don't go to immigration office and do the passport at the exact amount that is quoted. You can't do it at the official rate. There are a lot of middlemen, even the officials who collect money illegally from applicants. So there are a whole number of factors. I think it should be left where it was before until things improve. Things have not really improved for the common man in terms of the condition and the standard of living. So I hope that the government can still look into it through the immigration and review it. Even whichever way you look at it is definitely still too high for the ordinary Nigerians.
All right, Austin. It appears that Nigeria is having diplomatic strain with its brothers, or would we say the sister nations here. South Africa demolishes Nigerian developers' high-rise complexes, and many have been spent on these high-rise buildings, and it has to be demolished. Now, we also saw in Ghana very recently where you had instances of do not give Nigerians our passport, do not allow them come to our country. They should go back to their country and go and develop their country in spite of the diplomatic ties with this African nation. At a point in time, we're even talking about the AfCFTA, where you can trade within the African continent. All of that appears to be shrouded in so much mess. Now, Austin, what do we say with this kind of affront against diplomatic ties? Are we saying that our foreign affairs policies are getting a bit too weighty and archaic, that we need to review them? What exactly do we do as it stands?
Yeah, GBOLABO, if you look at the background story to this particular one, it has nothing to do with diplomatic issue. It has nothing to do with xenophobic. It has nothing to do with hostility. It's an issue that border on law, safety, and procedure. The high-rise properties in question, the government went to court. They didn't just go there with bulldozer. They went to court. The first level of court marked it for demolition. The appeal court in April or May marked it for demolition. Where there is no law, there is no offense. There are safety and standard procedure for erecting structure, not even to talk about high-rise structure. Do you think the way we do in Lagos, that there are building collapses, we build on power line, we build on floodplain area? Do you think it's every country that accept that? It's not every country that accept that. There are some countries that you can't even build above specification. In an area, the pattern of houses must be the same. So this is not a case of a diplomatic issue at all, and I'm sure Nigerian government will not have anything to do with this, because wherever you get to, you must abide by the rule, you must play by the procedure and the policies of the place. So I think this is just a matter that is playing now. It's more of law than attack on our people as a country. I don't think about it that way, because if you look at the genesis of the matter, it was a case of people bypassing. You know, some of us, that is what we do. What we cannot do, what we do in Nigeria, at times we go out, we want to do it, we want to try it, whether it can work. No, it's also a clarion call for Nigeria to stamp their feet. This particular issue is a clarion call. Nigeria is only a country where road construction will start dodging building, because a prominent person has a building somewhere, the road had to curve to the other angle. You know, things have to be done decently, properly, and in order. So clearly, this is a case of law and order and safety.
All right, Austin, talking about our excess crude account itself, it's now at over $535,000. And now this is actually valued in dollars, not even in naira. And that is coming from the Attorney General of the Federation itself. Austin, are we looking at some sort of a rainy day fund? What exactly is this going to be of value to Nigeria? Are they going to be shortfalls? Are there going to be implications? What exactly do we get from this excess crude account itself?
Well, the essence of the excess crude, when we talk about excess crude, we are just talking about savings from the differential. You know, for example, if your oil price benchmark is $70 and it goes to like $100, for example, in the global market, the remaining $30 by government investment process will go into the excess crude. But you and I will agree that in recent time, we have had costs to run at a loss by way of pushing our benchmark maybe at 70, and at the end of the day, the prices will drop to like 60 or even 55. It has happened several times, and if that happens, it means that the excess crude will not have any savings, and if care is not taken, we might even get to a level where we depleted them. There was a case in the past that governors had to force the hand of the sitting president then to go into excess crude account and start distributing money from there. but for some time that has not really been happening.
It's
a function of how much we are able to save from the differential between the benchmark and the international crude price.
All right, we have to go on this break. I'll have you hold your thought, Austin. We'll be back on that very shortly. That will be after this break. Please do stay with us.
Happiness is a choice that we want you to make always. Choose to be happy. Choose 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan.
Now cook food where sweet like this. One girl for my kitchen. Too sweet I lick my lips. Now waiting I use them fry my chicken. If you listen when it says the sound of joy taste you've been missing. It a hammer from my city. Now cook food where sweet like this. This mama do. Your meal is a hit. This mama do. Oh no you the hit. This mama do. Mama do. Yes mama do. This mama do. Your meal is a hit. This mama do. Oh no you the hit. This mama do. Mama do.
Tastes great. It's Mamador. Mamador oil is available in stores near you and also comes in pocket-friendly sizes. Use Mamador oil today.
Kò bá jẹ́ 24, 29 tàbí 32 ṣáà ti fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kàn tẹ 32FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
orúkọ mi ni Glory Gbélẹ̀ mo wá gba owó ní 32 FM mo wá gbà lọ́wọ́ Coco Boss ẹlẹ́kẹta tí màá jẹ lélẹ̀ ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ganu sí ẹgbẹ́nu sí.
jẹ pẹ̀lú Coco Box àti 32 FM ìkànnì 32 FM 94.9 pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ Coco Box ní fi àǹfààní 20,000 naira fún wa láti máa jẹ lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú 500 naira. bó o lẹ́ẹ̀tì ṣe jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ẹ lọ tẹ *347*253# lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ yín èyíkéyìí nẹ́tíwọ̀kì tẹ́ bá ń lò ẹ fi iye ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ tà sí. wọ́n send account number tẹ́ ẹ lè lò lẹ́ẹ̀kan péré sí yín ẹ sanwó pẹ̀lú backup yín USSD àbí kẹ́ ẹ ṣàbẹ̀wò sí POS tó súnmọ́dọ̀ yín yẹn pẹ̀lú account number tó ti wà lọ́wọ́ yín. èyí ṣe pàtàkì ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ péré ni account number ń fi lè ṣiṣẹ́ ó sì wà fẹ́yìí tẹ́ ẹ ta yẹn nìkan. bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kọ̀ láti sanwó sórí account number wọn yóò ṣàdínàgbò òkú fún yín látún ti ta lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. bẹ́ẹ̀ ti ṣe ta tó pọ̀ sí ni àǹfààní ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ fún yín láti jẹ aago 9 àbọ̀ lówùrọ̀ aago 2 ọ̀sán aago 3 àtàago 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ látọjọ́ ajé Monday sọ́jọ́ ẹtì ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ náà máa yí koto èèyàn 8 ni ó máa gba 20,000 lójoojúmọ́. ẹ̀yin náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí kẹ́tẹ̀ *347*253# kẹ́ẹ̀fì 500 naira péré gbàgbẹ́mù lórí Coco Box àti 32 FM ó ti pọ̀ jù.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Crema.
And where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Crema.
If not tea, Papa Garita.
Kivo Crema.
Kivo Crema. I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop and is it to stop? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up pouch.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
So much in love.
ẹ máa rọra o ẹ jẹ́ ká gbẹ́sẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ láàrin ìṣẹ́jú méjì a ó dòrò ilé wa.
ìṣẹ́jú méjì a sì ti rin kìlómítà kan ẹ dákun orí ilẹ̀ là ń lọ ní àbáginjù àmọ́ gbé èèyàn mọ́ tí ẹ ṣáàjùlé ọ̀run.
bí ẹ bá gbóhùn èèyàn mọ́ mo lérò pé ṣáà ń gbóhùn àwọn yòókù tí ń ké sí o sí o. ohun ojú wọn lójú rí nígbà tí ọ̀rọ̀ ilé àti ilẹ̀ títà ti di tajà tẹran. ń lèmi ti mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn olùgbàdì jìbìtì tó pọ̀ jáǹtìrẹrẹ. àwọn tí wọn ò kó tọrọ nìkan lèmi lè júwe soft sand property fún. iléeṣẹ́ talẹ́talẹ̀ tóun àti 32 FM jọ ń ṣe àṣepọ̀ yíkáyíká ìlú Ìbàdàn ni wọ́n nílé tí wọ́n sì nílẹ̀ sí. fẹ́lifẹ́li ni àwọn estate wa yìí gbóná lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. àwa la ní Orange Estate tó wà ní Ìdó níbi àwọn lọ́lá ń kọ́lé sí. bákan náà ni Mango Estate tó wà lákùfọ̀ lójú ọ̀nà Lifehouse International School. ìṣẹ́jú méjì ní secondary school lákùfọ̀. iṣẹ́ tún lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Banana Estate tó wà ní ẹ̀bá ojú irin omi àdìo. ohun tí a fi yàtọ̀ sí ará yòókù ni pé bí ẹ bá ti ń sanwó ilẹ̀ yín fún soft sand property ní 32 FM ni wọ́n ti máa já rìsíìtì fún yín. ṣé ẹ wá rí i pé abẹ́rẹ́ tiwa lókun nídìí. bí ẹ bá wá ní ilé tàbí ilẹ̀ tí ẹ fẹ́ tà tàbí tí ẹ fẹ́ rà ẹ kàn sí wa ní 32 FM Àjàkẹ́ni Cocoa House nìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí àwọn nọ́mbà yìí 09115550055 tàbí sórí 09164615000 soft sands property òrùlé fún tẹrú tọmọ.
32 FM
94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still on to Break It On Papers Review here on your Laughter Dial 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're still taking headlines. We still have Austin Odumo on the virtual platform doing the analysis proper. Austin, before we open the phone lines, we're actually talking about the excess crude account and the benefit for the country.
Yeah, the benefit is that if government is able to show off enough funds, of course, that will, number one, we are going to have forest, enough forest, savings. Then that can also be used to boost the economy, to reflate the economy. Once in a while, government can decide to withdraw because the fund belongs to the 3 tiers of government. Government can decide to withdraw from the fund to address some critical infrastructure within the country. Not like the way it was done in the past that some people had to take the former president to court to simply share the money. And at the end of the day, when they share the money, they put the blame on that particular former president. It was not meant to be stolen. It is meant for savings, and it is meant to address some critical needs, and above it all, to be able to show up our earnings in forests.
Well, Austin, admission age limit outcry in Osun as parents call for implementation shifts. Now, it appears to be like a miffed development. Many of them are saying that this is coming in a way they don't like because their words and their children passed even above what is expected in their UTME. And now, is it going to waste? Let's even look at the rigors of being in school in Nigeria and the strike, coupled with the strike. And at the end of the day, you find out that somebody who had entered at the age of 16 will graduate for a 4-year course, maybe 7 years after. Do you think the government needs to relax on this particular policy?
Yeah, I think this is not a policy that we can just enact by fiat. There are critical stakeholders within the education sector. 14 years, 15 years. For me, 16 years is not bad. In my view, 16 years is not bad. We parents, it's a jet age. I don't know where we are rushing some of these our children to. We want them to fly. And at the end of the day, it affects them. You see some people who have graduated, they have done NYC, they got employment, yet on the job they behave like babies, they reason like babies. But there are some who are exceptionally very brilliant. So how do we marry this? That is why I said it is not a law or a policy that some people, even the Ministry of Education, should not just come by fiat and say this is the way it should be. Let critical stakeholders, the university, stakeholders within the university, let them come together. What I want to happen is validity of UTME. We can also work on the validity of UTME. For example, if a child does well this year in UTME, and that child, for one reason or the other, is not able to gain admission, maybe as a result of the university cutoff mark, there should be a validity. We shouldn't allow people to be writing JAMB over and over again. Maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years validity. I think that will make a whole lot of sense.
All right, we have a caller already. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is John Olarawaju. I'm calling from Agu.
All right, John. Good
morning, Austin. The issue of Senator Abu, that's not funny, and it's not funny at all. What is our business about telling the public that you fasted for 30 days before you could cross to another party? What's our business about that one? If you like, you can even fast for the 100 days or 200 days. That's not our business. So, in fact, the unnecessary things that some politicians will just come on the public and be telling Nigeria. So we don't need all these things. And then go back to the increment in passport. I think I'm allowing myself with Austin. Yes, I don't know why the federal government, especially this government, like to be increasing everything. So in which area the masses is even enjoying this government? So why is it that there is nothing that masses is even enjoying from this government? Only to increasing everything. So and upon increment self, this money that you are even getting from us, you don't even use it for us. There are some people, the politicians are the ones that even enjoy this money. What is the reason? If to say we are enjoying it, it will be better. But we don't enjoy it. The people that enjoy it are you people, the politicians. What's the essence of increment? Thank God. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, John Elaruwajo, for that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
I'm Comrade Kendi Ojua from Olodo.
All right.
I agree the analyst, Osi Dumu, for a good work. A good work. I want to ask, the excess crude money and other money that accrue to the federal government in excess, that it be used to revalue the naira, to make naira gain value. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Okay, I didn't really get that question well. Hello, good morning. I don't know if Austin got that.
Hello, good morning, GBOLABO.
Good morning, sir.
Address from UI.
All right, please go ahead.
You know what is funny to me about the government is people who are supporting them. I mean, the masses. I think the very poor people among them. They don't know that this government is siphoning money from them to take care of politicians. I asked a supporter, a father here, who is selling, I think, people that repair all this TV of a thing that cannot afford even 50,000 or anything instantly. I asked him, he's a Tinubu supporter, because we should be reasonable in this country, GBOLABO. I said, how do you pay your school fees of your children in UI now, 500,000, which is that Tinubu method? And what has been the significant change in UI that you have been increasing, that you're using the money for? Now I asked him again, now that the government is by your shoe, you have a child that wants to run away now. Tell me how you want to pay 250,000 naira to get a passport to start. They collect this money from you and they are now paying 25,000 palliative to you. Is that normal? And the youth, GBOLABO, are they getting ready to even get a PDC and vote out such a leader and let's test somebody else? Yesterday I was passing somewhere, old woman was selling pepper, maybe worth of 5,000, all the capital, and the baby, nobody is buying it. They were sleeping already. I almost cried, GBOLABO. What kind of a country is this? And you see, what is paying is elite supporting them. Elite, educated people. Some of them to gather Nigerians together unless this Baba is too old. People are using him. His brain to destroy this country. That's the problem, GBOLABO. That's how the best of today.
All right, thank you so much, Ade from UI. We do still have another caller here. We also live on Facebook in case you want to drop your comment there. 32FM 949 Fenya with double ears. All right, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Prince Bumi Adefusi calling from Apart.
All right, let's go ahead.
When the recesses, Nigerians don't even know. Nigerians don't even know because most of the excess in the crude oil Nigeria don't benefit. And by now we should be saving. We should have something huge in our reserve. Because with the way we have been borrowing up and down. And Nigeria is colonized indirectly. Because when you borrow from the European country, you will be under them. You have to dance to their tunes. When Nigeria will be free, when would Nigeria be free from external forces? That is, and this is coming because of the greediness of our politicians. They just want to be making money, making at the expense of the masses. Let them think. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Adefusi there. Okay, we have Miriam Yetunde on Facebook. He says, good morning. Good morning to you too, Miriam. The education sector requires urgent and adequate funding. Given its crucial role in national development, the federal government must take decisive action to restore normalcy. We also have Adesui Samuel, and he writes, good morning to you too. With the 2027 election approaching, opposition parties are striving to position themselves. I hope they will make informed decisions. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, please go ahead.
Joseph from Charlotte.
All right.
There's one thing I want to say about the passport. The passport as a proof, it seems as if your government has not visited the office. There are a lot that are taking place. And even when you are taking passport, you may be even ready. Because passport is not food. People who are traveling, it's
spend millions. You know, before, if you want to do any changes on your passport, you go to Abuja. Now you do it in Ibadan here. And imagine going to Abuja, you fly go, fly come. By the time you get there, you take hotel, but you do it here. A lot of changes have taken place. And people, passport is not for Ibadan or Kano. People who are going abroad, they are the ones that need passport. And you don't need to, the task them. Some of them are useless. You just walk into the office, within a week or two, you get your passport. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I don't think it's actually the time wasting that Nigerians are talking about. Really, I think it's about the money in question. But we have Oluwaseun Root on Facebook. It says, good morning, 32 FM. Good morning to you too. It's a pity the people in government refuse to get it right when it comes to tackling the menace of insecurity. All right, Adidamola Kunola says, beautiful morning to you. Beautiful morning to you too. I agree with your analyst on the new price of passport. It is too outrageous. All right, we also have Omadi Adekunle says the federal government is not yet ready to settle the demands of ASO because of majority of its these political holders' words are not schooling in Nigeria. They only respond to what is mostly concerning to them, which is 2027 general election. We have to look at Adeyemi also on Facebook. Good morning. Good morning to you too. I think the increment in the passport fee is a deliberate attempt by the federal government to discourage to discourage some part of it appears to be missing. All right, I think I will get back to that. To discourage Nigerians leaving the country, and I don't think it will work unless they make things work as expected. All right, I'll also take to Boluwatife Ademijuwon says, insecurity ravages every state, yet the president inaction worsen the crisis. Honorable Akinkunmi Camille Dakola says, I will employ the federal government to review the increase in international passport price. All right, we have to leave the studios right about now. We'll take this as our last caller for the day. All right, the caller has to have also dropped. All right, let's see if you can get through with this one before calling it a day. Okay, Austin, we have to leave the studios right about now. I know there's so many things been said. How do you react? Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
please go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, on the issue of the passport, I actually said that there are a lot of innovation going on. I have a lot of them as my friend. Even the minister is even my friend. So there are a lot of innovation, but however, the price is not justiciable. That's my point of view. Then on the SS code account, somebody talked about using it to defend the Naira. What is directly used to defend the Naira is the foreign reserve. Like the caller said, I believe that this is not the true value of our currency, but however, it has stabilized, but we can continue to work on it to bring it down.
All right, Austin, we must say a big thank you to you for doing this with us today, and to all our callers and those who also sent in their messages. We do acknowledge every one of them. We say a big thank you to you as well. And of course, Baba Fendo is up next. My name is GBOLABO. Famous School. Do join us again next week for another interesting edition of the Break It On Papers Review. Have a blessed weekend.